Hello, YouTube. I'll continue my narrative about the submachine guns of the former Soviet Union and modern Russia, and I'll talk today about one that has been very much liked by former Russian law enforcement people I've spoken to, and it has shown itself to be quite capable. You see, since 1949 in the USSR, supplies of submachine guns using 7.62 millimeter cartridges, the so-called intermediate ones, from the year 1942, have been established for the needs of the Soviet Army. For this reason, submachine guns used in the Great Patriotic War, as we call World War II, were forgotten by the Army for several decades. The situation with submachine guns for pistol ammunition changed only in the 1970s. Within the framework of the competition theme titled Bouquet, design work was started for the creation of a new generation of submachine guns. One of these shooting models, so to say, was the O2 Kyparis, or Cypress in Russian. Weapons began to be mass-produced only in 1992 of this type. It is listed in the technical documentation as TKB-0217. Kiparis is a weapon for attack and defense. It is classified as a light submachine gun. Kyparis O02 weapon was developed in the Tula Central Committee of the Central Design and Research Bureau of Sporting and Hunting Arms, abbreviated in Russian as KIBSOO, by the order of the Ministry of Defense of the Soviet Union. The author is the hero of socialist labor Afanasyev. He is, by the way, also the creator of the A12.7 large caliber machine gun and the AM-23 aviation cannon. The latter model was developed jointly with no other than Makarov. The ODS-02 Kyparis is a weapon with a layout scheme identical to the Czechoslovakian VZ.61 Scorpion machine gun from the year 1961. In the early 1970s, the Soviet Army leadership became interested in the topic of compact weapons designed specifically for elite security units. As part of the Bouquet project, gunsmiths began to develop a small-sized submachine gun. At the same time, in Izhevsk, the Soviet designer of the Central Research Institute of Tochmash, Tkachev, improved the legendary Kalashnikov within the project titled Modern. Soon, the gunsmith assembled a light machine gun for a 5.4 millimeter automatic cartridge. The unified firearm unit is listed in the technical documentation as the AKS-74U and weighs no more than a submachine gun. Well, you see, the topic of Bouquet was pushed to the background, so they didn't want to go with this project. Machine guns began to be produced in large batches and supplied to law enforcement agencies. Nevertheless, the AKS-74U turned out to be quite ugly, and the leadership of the Ministry of Internal Affairs returned to the topic of Bouquet, namely to submachine guns. Kyparis pistol has the same layout, as I said, as the Czechoslovak-made Scorpion submachine gun. Such an arrangement is characterized by the location of the firing control grip at the back of the butt plate and the magazine in front of the trigger guard. The shoulder bolt stop fits on top of the firearm frame lid. To do this, it is enough to turn it up and forward. The hammer-type trigger is assembled separately from all automation. The connection of the trigger firing mechanism and the firearm frame is provided by means of swivels. Bolt cocking handle with which the shutter is cocked is located on the right side of the firing frame. There is a place on the left for the safety switch of the firing mode. Judging by the reviews, this constructive solution turned out to be quite successful, since it is more convenient for the fighter to control the fire mode with his or her thumb. On the left side of the case, there are slivers with which a belt is attached to the submachine gun. A two-position rear sight is used as the aiming device, designed for distances of 24 and 75 meters, and the front sight. Kyparis, a photo which allows you to get an idea of its appearance, like all submachine guns, is equipped with a free bolt automatic. TKB-0217 differs from other firearm samples of this class in that it is fired from the front sear and the piston breaks the trigger mechanism. Due to this, the fighter can make a well-aimed first shot. Also, when firing single shots, the dispersion is minimized, which cannot be said about weapons firing from the rear sear. Ammunition is fed into the chamber from box-type straight clips. Pistol magazines are available in three versions: 10, 20, and 30 rounds each. They are arranged in a staggered order. The output is two-row. The extraction of used casings is carried out upwards. After the ammunition is used up, the shutter moves to the rear position. What is the special feature? According to experts, the peculiarity of Kyparis is the presence of special devices that slow down the rate of fire. Despite the fact that 1,250 projectiles can be fired from Israeli-made Uzi per minute, American Ingram and Ijev's Clean 1,200 each, many military experts are convinced that 450 rounds per minute is considered to be the most optimal for weapons of this class, since it is easier for the fighter to control. Also, Kyparis is equipped with a special anti-rebound, a massive inertial body that can move freely in the bolt cavity. Since Kyparis was created as an elite weapon of the special forces of the Ministry of Internal Affairs to perform highly specific tasks, the developers provided the opportunity to install muzzle nozzles on it. To do this, the part of the barrel protruding from the box was made smooth and given a cylindrical shape. If necessary, the fighter can put a nozzle on it for silent and flame-free shooting, which is more often called a silencer. So, Kyparis submachine gun was developed in 1972, in service with the special forces of the Russian Interior Ministry since 1992. A firearm unit with 30 rounds of ammunition without silent shooting device and a laser designator weighs 1.6 kilograms. With a full 20 rounds magazine, a silent firing device, and a target designator, it weighs 2.6 kilograms. The length of the barrel is 15.6 centimeters. The total length of the 9mm submachine gun without a silencer and stock does not exceed 31.7 centimeters. With a silencer and an open butt, the size of the weapon is 73 centimeters. With the folded butt and nozzle, 45.2 centimeters. With an open butt and without a silencer, 59.5 centimeters. The weapon is equipped with 9x18mm Makarov pistol cartridges. From 850 to 900 shots can be fired from this model within 1 minute. The fired projectile moves at the speed between 320 to 335 miles per second. Aimed fire is possible at the distance of up to 75 meters. It is equipped with, again, this I mentioned, but still, 10, 20, and 30 rounds of ammunition. In conclusion, according to weapons experts, the OTS 02 Kyparis can be considered a fairly successful weapon. Although the main task, namely to create a compact submachine gun, was not fully realized by the developers, this firearm model turned out to be one of the best for use in urban conditions and indoors. This model of submachine gun is of particular interest since this weapon is at least remotely close to the examples of submachine guns that can be carried concealed. It was developed naturally without taking into account such a possibility, but if you look at other domestic models, Kyparis is the closest, among others, to the fact that it could be used that way. A separate requirement was that the weapon should be able to easily and quickly install a silent firing device. There are interesting stories about how it was used, about the battles for the control of the Russian streets using Kyparis, other models, of course, too. But that's what I wanted to let you know today about this type of the submachine gun. And I'll bring you more stories in my narrative as the time goes by. I want to thank you for your attention to my work. If you can support my research, links in the description to this video. Please like my videos, please tell others. Thank you.